Good afternoon. Hopefully lots of you are here to have or join us for our most exciting event of the season, Christmas 2023. When did that happen? I've been working on these since March, so I'm pretty Christmased out, but today is the launch. Hopefully they, just so that you know, they are available to pre-order on our website. Let me just get this up here. Hang on a minute. Let's see if we've got some comments. If you're joining, please send me a comment so that I know you're with me. So all of them are now available to pre-order over on our website. They will hopefully be dispatched by the 22nd-ish of this month. It just depends. I know the manufacturers have had a few delays because of the bank holidays. It kind of drags everybody behind. At the moment, I'm not seeing any comments and it's not telling me that I'm live anywhere. So if there is anybody in my building that can tell me that I am on Facebook and YouTube live, the comments are obviously not going to be working for me today. Don't you just love it? Anyway, shall we get started? Right, let's get rid of that one, flip it to that one, and here we go. So the first one on the list is, oh, look, you're getting sneak peeks. Let me move those over a little bit. Holly ribbons. Can't believe these comments are not working again. This drives me insane. So obviously I will try and answer as many questions as I can when we come back. Or should I say when we're finished? Because I'm not going to know what any of you are up to. So here we go. Holly ribbons. You've got this lovely, great big holly flourish. You've got 4 little stars up here. You've got 3 little berries. And then 1, 2, 3 little holly clusters. I don't know what hollies, groups of holly are called. You've got this lovely bow hanging down here. And then you've got a holly corner with some ribbon hanging off that as well. So that is our new holly ribbons. That's one of our $14.99 sets. The one that I'm going to be doing my demo with today is called Christmas Letter. Now this one, I meant to grab it before I came up. I'm not using it for today, but it would be ideal, and this was what I had in mind when I was doing it, to put an address in here, and you can decorate the front of your envelope as well. I'm using this on a 6x6 card, and you can decorate your envelope as well, and it will fit through just as a normal letter. So you've also got Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, from our house to yours. Dear Santa, I really tried. Wish you a Merry Christmas. Then we have some tiny little embellishments to go with it. Let's go up here. So we've got the postmark here, 25th of December. You've got one of our tiny little Santa hats. You've got a snowflake. You've got 2 hollies, and as I say, they are tiny, with some little berries on. You've got 1 holly leaf on its own, and they're designed to fit inside these little stamp sets here. So you've got 2 little stamps as well. So hopefully you all love this one. I had really good fun playing with this. And as I say, it's perfect for decorating your envelope as well. So not only can you carry it through on the inside of your card, but you can also carry it through onto your envelope as well, which I think is lovely for Christmas. So that is also one of our $14.99 would be nice, $14.99 stamp sets. We then have, let's go here first, Christmas greetings. Now, we brought out that sentiment set back in March, April time, and we can't keep it in stock with this fabulous flourishy, flouncy, scripty font type thing. So we've got a little bit of it in here. It's not all about that one, but we've got It's Time Happy, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Have a Merry Little Christmas. So you can put all of that together. Again, we've got a couple of little hollies on there and a lovely little candy cane as well. So that is our Christmas greetings. But this would also be lovely if you just wanted to do like batches of maybe C6 cards. So the much smaller cards, and you could just write Merry Christmas on there or Happy Christmas on there, because not everybody likes Merry Christmas. Some like Happy Christmas as well. So we've covered both on there. So you wouldn't even really have to do huge amounts more. Pop that on there, and then maybe put one of the holly in the corner. How cute would that be? So that's that one. And then last but not least, we have Santa's sleigh. You wait till you see the samples that some of our design team have done. It blew my mind. They're beautiful. I've got standards to live up to now though, haven't I? So 'Tis the Season and A Merry Christmas. Again, similar fonts to what we used on that last collection that everybody seemed to love. And this one, you can really jazz it up. You can use your golds, your sparklies, your silvers, really jazz up your Christmas tree, your parcels, your sleigh. And we haven't done a Santa sleigh yet. So I thought that would be quite fun to do as well. So that is our new collection. So I can't believe the comments aren't showing today, because today I want to actually know what you think to them and I can't find out. So as you're all aware, we do seem to keep having these little issues and bits and pieces coming up. And Wednesdays are a nightmare for me at the moment. There's so much happens on a Wednesday, it's bonkers. So we may look at going live maybe every other week and recording one for the following week. Bear with us, we will let you know what's going on with that. Maybe it might even go that we do live every 3 weeks or once a month or something like that. But there will be a video every week to show you some ideas with our Honeydew Crafts products. So today we are going to be using, as I mentioned, Christmas letter. What else? Obviously our sticky glue, which comes in the 2 sizes. You will need an anti-static pad for this one. I'm warning you now. And I'm going to try and remember to use it too. Versamark ink and gold embossing powder. Now, we do a gold and we do a gold sparkle, which is called Golden Glamour. This is the plain gold. It's not got the glitter in it. And then we are doing some colouring. So the colours I am using are a combination of greens and reds. And they are numbers 4. Oh, sorry, we're using the Zig Clean Colour Real Brush Markers and a combination of mid green, which is number 46, olive green, which is 43, deep green, which is 44, yellow green, which is 53. I'm assuming that I am actually being heard because nobody from my household has come to let me know that I haven't gone live. And then we're using wine red, which is 24, deep red, which is 206, and then just in the background as a backup, we've got the blender, which is 999 in that emergency. So that is what we are going to be tackling today. So it's not a huge palette today. Obviously, they're my choice of pens. Whatever pens you have, you are more than welcome to use. I'm not strict on that. So let's just pop some of this stuff out. I haven't got too much to try and work out what I'm doing with today either, which is always nice. Right, let's pop that out of the way. So we're doing a 6x6 card today, a little mini one. And those of you that did our workshop, not the last one we've just done, the one before that, we did a similar card to this with our holly wreath. So we've got a 6x6 card blank. We have got a layering piece with which you can do in whatever colour you want. I've got like a pearly red for this one. And that is a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then watercolour cardstock. And this one is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. The only reason I'm using watercolour is because I'm going to be blending some of the colours. And you need the watercolour really to get that blending to work. So again, pop the card out of the way. So this is the piece we're working on. I'm going to do this bit now before I forget, because you know what I'm like. I'm always forgetting that bit. And I've got my piece of card for my embossing powder this week. So after last week where I completely forgot to get that sorted and it threw me off. Still haven't managed to get my new my table covered. I have got the cover in now, so I am going to do it. I just haven't got round to it. Where's this week gone? It's just flown by, hasn't it? I can't believe we're on Wednesday again already. I just don't know what. I think we're on that Real Life Truman Show and somebody's speeding us up. For those of you that have seen that movie. I say that. I've never seen it, but I've watched clips of it. Never seen it from start to finish. But I kind of know what I'm talking about, I think. So I'm just getting myself ready here. As you can see, I've been playing with my stamps a lot already. It's already a bit manky. But you know what I'm like? I don't do cleaning stamps very well. I always say, do as I say, not as I do. So we're going with our Versamark ink. Now, a couple of little tips to this one. It's quite a large stamp. So when you put it on, roll it onto your acrylic block. So rather than just chuck it on there, roll it on there. That'll take any air bubbles that might come up in that middle section. Also, we don't want to get too much ink on this middle bit. You want to look at inking your stamp going around the edge. Because if you put too much ink on there and then you're using something that's a bit bouncy in the middle, the centre of this could quite easily hit the cardstock. Most of you will know that I actually don't use anything bouncy underneath my stamps. I stamp on the hardest surface I can find, which is usually the kitchen work surface or this desk. There's no stamping mat or anything spongy underneath me. It is literally straight onto the desk. And I tend to find that is most successful for me, but it doesn't mean it's the most successful for everybody. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to bring that a little bit closer to line this up straight. The other little tip is to put it on your block straight, not wonky. That way, hopefully you won't stamp wonky. Now, because I'm using Versamark, I'm a bit over to the left, but you'll get the idea. Because I'm using Versamark on watercolour cardstock, I do tend to work a little bit quicker as far as getting the embossing powder on there. Purely because I'm always conscious that it might get absorbed into that watercolour card quicker than I want it to. So I'm just going to stamp that on there and then get my cards for my embossing powder. Ooh, I hate that squeak. And tip that all over. Give it a really good flick. Take off any excess. Now, if you're not hugely confident with your stamping and your heat embossing, then I would recommend you heat emboss it now, this piece, and then fill the rest in as you're going along. I've just managed to miss half the pot. I really need to get my eyes retested. If you're quite a confident stamper, then go ahead and do what I'm about to do here, which is to stamp in all the extra bits first. So I'm going to go in with my postage stamp mark first. Now I need to leave room to get my little stamp on here as well. So I'm going to put that a little bit further over there. Press that down. Just be careful not to get your fingers on any of that embossing powder that you've already put on there. And then I'm going to get my stamp. Now, because this is such a dinky stamp, I do find it easier to take my stamp to my ink pad. But again, don't press too hard. Normally I'll tell you to take your ink pad to your stamp. But in this situation, for these tiny little ones, it is probably easier to do it this way around. And then I'm going to pop my holly in the middle there. As I say, mind your embossing that's all the way around if you have decided to try this route. And then you've got your sentiment. Again, try and remember to put your sentiment on your block straight. It will make your life easier. Don't stamp it upside down like I nearly did just then. As I say, I do try and work a little bit quicker when I'm doing it on watercolour card, but there's nothing that says you have to. I just find it's a little bit more successful if I do. So that is your card built up, basically, however you want to do it. I'm absolutely gutted we can't see the comments on here, and I don't know why it keeps doing this. It throws me out of Facebook, I think, which is what takes our comments off. But I thought we'd got that all sorted. I'd signed us all up into it again this morning. I guess not. So we are going to heat this like I normally do. I heat from underneath, but that is entirely your choice. I do it from underneath because it keeps the powder slightly better in place, and it also gives you a smoother finish. But if you're not most confident doing it this way, you don't have to. do it what you're comfortable doing. So I'm just going to heat that up. So I'm going to get my heat gun warm. And also be aware that they do get very hot underneath this cardstock. Sorry, I have to take my glasses off even to see this at the minute. Blind as a bat I am. So you're just going to go over there, and those of you that haven't heat embossed before, basically you're melting the product into a solid, so the powder into a solid. And I'm hoping you can all see that, because I'm trying to do it so that I can see it go and you can see it go all at the same time. Let's put that bit in the middle before we spin it round. That's as far over as my fingers are going to let me go. So you can see how this would really work with your on your envelopes as well. So that's it all stamped out. So you can see that that would look really cute with your address in there, and you can colour it all in and bring it all through from your card. Now I'm going to give that a little bit of a wiggle while it's still warm, and that helps to flatten out that cardstock. So I'm going to go in with my greens first. Now with the clean colour pens, as I would recommend with most pens, you need to blot this as you're going along, because wherever the embossing powder is, the ink is just going to sit on the top. You'll go to stick this down nicely on your finished card and you'll smudge it, which is not what you want to be doing. I can feel that powder from the embossing powder on there and it drives me insane. Don't like that feel from the embossing powder from the anti-static bag. So I've got a piece of scrap kitchen roll beside me, and I'm just going to take these colours. So we'll go with the olive green and the deep green to start with. No, mid green, deep green to start with. So I'm going to take the darker colour. Oh, I don't know, can I bring that in a little bit more? If I do that, you might be able to see what I'm doing a little bit easier. I'm going to try and zoom it back out before we come back to me, that's for sure. So I'm just literally going straight down the middle of that holly leaf. And again, I work quite quickly, and then in circular motions, start blending those two colours together. And it kind of gives you a bit of a variegated look to your holly. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, these are handmade cards. Just be careful not to get that one that you haven't blotted, because I have found that with this particular watercolour cardstock, if I blot it too early, it takes a lot of the colour off. There's so many different ones on the market. We had a fabulous one, but the manufacturer no longer makes it. So we are trying out lots of different papers to see which one works best for us before we start advertising which ones they are. So I've got lots of different packs on trial at the moment. Some are whiter than white, some are a little bit too textured, some seem to be working quite well. So we just have to see which ones end up working the best. Don't ask me why I went for that middle one on there. I should have probably waited and gone for the side one first, but too late, hey ho. So as I said, these new Christmas release are available over on our website now.